I was going to make a tandem, a segue. I was going to make a segue when we were talking about China. It's just like, when you're like digging, you're trying to dig to China, just trying to go south.
When you're finding yourself turning southbound.
That was it.
Yeah, there we go. That's a segue.
Couldn't figure a way to wrap back around it because we've got into social time. But
that's all right. We got there.
Yeah. Hey, how's it going?
I'm Clark.
I'm Karina.
And welcome to It's Always Spooky.
I was like, I always do it. You need to do it every once in a while.
Yeah, gotta get it out.
It's always spooky.
Oh.
Gotta like spit it out every once in a while.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull up because I think I wrote down the rest of the metadata. It's mostly just the budget.
I did this really interesting thing today where I went to go pull up the movie and watch it again and was like, oh, I got to finish up my notes, blah, 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 blah. Re-rented the movie, started it, pulled out my notebook and realized that like I had already done all of my notes. Well,
yeah. You probably did it when we first watched it.
It's not going to focus. Yeah, but like normally I don't. And so when I like opened up, wait, what? Can't you hear me?
Just like muted out for a second. I don't know why.
Weird.
Oh, it's back now. I don't know. I didn't touch anything. I did touch my phone. I wonder if that's why.
I normally don't. And so like I opened up my notebook and saw all these and I was like, I hope I remember the movie. Cause like they're good notes, but
we can
don't
give you
a
bit of a pass. You did suffer a concussion, so.
Hey, you know what? I'll take it.
Yeah.
Also, weird result of a concussion. I feel like I'm connecting with customers more at work right now. Like they're not just making me annoyed. I'm actually like having conversation with people, and I don't know if that's because of the concussion or because of like, oh, I had like a fun little not near-death experience, but like a actual traumatic experience, and now I'm like, oh, maybe I appreciate things a little more. But I like find myself actually connecting, and it's weird. It's really weird, but I'll take it.
Roll with it. Roll with the punches.
Makes
That's
work
the best
less annoying.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, at least there's that, right?
Yeah.
Well, today we're going to talk about. I mean, one of my favorite. I love an anthology movie and I love horror movies. So this one really tickles both of those for me. But we're going to do 2015 Southbound.
Yeah.
And I specifically wanted to do this one because I know we haven't covered the VHS films yet. I know they're on the list, but this was done by the same writer and director.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was really impressed. I had heard nothing about this movie at all prior to us watching it. Even everybody that I brought it up to at work and just in passing, they were like, I've never heard of that. And I was like,
actually so stoked.
It's actually really good. It's really good.
That makes me so happy, honestly, because I don't remember how I found this movie. I'm pretty sure I found it on Netflix. Or maybe it was even one that was for free on YouTube. Because the first time I watched it was like almost a decade ago. Closer when it first came out. But I really like it because I love an anthology because I love how succinct a lot of storylines can be in an anthology series.
Yeah.
But what I appreciate about this one is that in a lot of anthologies, each segment is wildly different. Maybe they each have like an overarching main theme, but they don't all directly tie into one another. And I love the way this movie kind of seamlessly bleeds from like one story to the next.
Yeah.
In a very clever storytelling manner.
Yeah, because when I think especially of horror anthologies, I think of things like the A to Z's of horror and like that sort of thing, where it is all very much so separate stories. And they're just like, well, this one means this and this one means this. And just like the overarching theme is scary. I really love the way that like certain transitions happen and the way that all these stories blend in and then come back around at the end. It's like chef's kiss.
Peak, right?
It's so good.
Yeah, because a lot of things that horror anthologies will do too is they'll just do like Easter eggs. So like, every short will be different, but in some of the shorts, there'll be like a character that was in the last short or like a bunny that was in the last short, but now in this one, So it's just like little tiny tie-ins. And I love how much this one, each story is different and they're not even telling like kind of one overarching story. but the way that they like transition from one to the next, they feel like they're all in the same world, which I really appreciate.
Yeah. Yeah. It does all very much so have that like isolated middle of the desert theme. And
Yeah. Yeah.
in some way or another, each like one character or one thing moves you into the next one. And it's so cool.
Yeah. All right. All right. Anyways, so directors and writers, so obviously this is 5 shorts. So we've got like the directors and the writers for each one. Let me just make sure I'm doing this justice here because I have a lot of notes on this. So, and I think I had written it down by which ones they had done. So you've got, let's see here, Roxanne Benjamin did Siren. Max Bettinelli Ulpin did The Way In and The Way Out. David Bruckner did The Accident. Patrick Horvath did Jailbreak. And then it also credits Susan Burke, Dallas Richard Hullum, Justin Martinez, Radio Silence, and Chad Vilea. And I believe both Chad and Matt are in it. They play Mitch and Jack.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like super indie, like a super indie film. So yeah, had a whole like slew of directors and writers that you should go check out on IMDb because they're not obviously getting the credit they deserve on here.
Yeah, definitely.
Stars, Chad Vilea plays Mitch. Matt Bettinelli plays, Matt Bettinelli plays Jack. Christina Pesic. I'm just going to look this up on here. I'm like butchering all of their names that I wrote down in here. Okay, let's see here. So for our cast, we've got Chad Vilea plays Mitch. Matt Bettinelli Ulpin plays Jack. Christina Pesic plays Sutter. Fabienne Therese plays Sadie. Natalie Love plays Kim. Hannah Marks plays Ava. And then it just kind of keeps going because there's like 5 different shorts. So I could like kind of refer back when we were talking about certain characters, or it's always easier, I feel like, on IMDb because you can like click their name, like their picture, and you can see what they look like and be like, oh, yeah, I remember her. Because a lot of times with these shorts, you don't remember every single character when there's like 20 of them.
Yeah, and the only time I've ever ran into any issues with it is when it's like a movie that was made forever ago and it was a child that was starring in it, and then their picture is them as an adult, and I'm like,
and you're like,
who the
that's
fuck?
not, yeah, right?
Yeah.
I am really excited. I'm going to go back to the budget really quickly, and then the tagline and the title card were my two favorites this time around. So for budget, you know what? It doesn't list a budget on IMDb.
I can understand that could be relatively difficult data to collect with this one.
Yeah, I think so too. It seemed like it was kind of a shoestring. It does look like the opening weekend they made about $6,000 on February 5th of 2016. And then gross in US and Canada was like under 40K.
Wow.
Yeah. So definitely that's probably why it flew under the radar for so long.
Yeah. Yeah, it is definitely a sleeper hit though.
Mm-hmm. And then finally, the title card is just the title in like red and black streaks that's on a black screen. And then it has like some like radio static in the background. And then the tagline is, no matter which road you choose, it's all going south.
Like it.
Isn't that fun?
I like it. Yeah.
That was pretty fun.
Yeah, I'm excited to get into this one. And I know that as we talk about it, it's going to like start coming back.
Yes.
But also, I think when we watched it, that was only like a few days post concussion. Because I remember at the very end of it, I was like, I can't see anything, or like I can't think anymore. But I do remember at least how it all ties back together. So that's good.
Yeah, no worries. And we can like digest it together too, because I remember it pretty well. Yeah.
I did write down IMDb's synopsis, and then I have a couple themes.
Sick.
For IMDb synopsis, it says 5 interlocking tales of terror follow the fates of a group of weary travelers who confront their worst nightmares and darkest secrets over one long night on a desolate stretch of desert highway.
Nice. So that's IMDb's take. Okay.
Yeah. And then for themes, I only had 2 that I wrote down, but I do think the first one is kind of just the overarching theme of this collection, which is purgatory. And then
I've written that down too.
And then the second one I wrote down was cults, because there is a cute little culty moment throughout
culty
it.
Thing in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had written down the themes for me were guilt, punishment for past wrongs, and then purgatory.
Yeah, I like that. I
Yeah.
like that.
And then I also want to say the poster for this movie is super cool because it's all 5 of the roads, the stories, we can call them, are making a pentagram.
I thought that was really cool.
So pretty fun. And then it has like the tagline on the bottom.
Yeah.
And then I also think I had written down on here, shouts out to Netflix. He had mentioned that in the jailbreak episode that somehow Danny had found that purgatory.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Right? That purgatory was a plane that existed, right? That people had just gotten stuck in.
Yeah.
And I want to bring up another trivia point later with that about why that the bartender was so adamant that she um that she shut the door all the way,
Oh, yeah.
right? Like
Okay.
she came into the bar. We're doing this a little bit early, but like she came into the bar and he was like, "You didn't shut the door." And she like looks up the door and she's like, "Well, I'm thirsty." And he says, "Okay, but you didn't shut the door." And she's like, "Okay, well, I'll do it in a second. Like, can I have a drink, please?" And then right after that, Danny bursts in. And so it's like he wanted her to shut the door because that's the way into the outside. And so if you don't latch it, then just any fucking person can walk through.
Yeah.
And I thought that was pretty cool.
That is really cool. I like that.
And we're in spoiler territory, so like who gives a shit in what order we talk about stuff, but I didn't want to forget about it.
Honestly, at this point, I think the way that I approach spoilers and non-spoilers is like if you listen to this episode or if you listen to our episodes at all, there's going to be spoilers.
Yes.
So like just look at the title of the episode, go back, watch the movie, then play the episode.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
I agree wholeheartedly.
So I did write down a little bit for lore. Not a lot, but it's a little interesting because when I was looking at some of the trivia and then some of the breakdowns that I saw online, they reaffirmed that the whole kind of overarching theme is that purgatory thing. And so I wrote down that purgatory is a predominantly Catholic final purification area for the saved, but not the truly holy souls. Like, they aren't necessarily sent to hell, but they haven't atoned for all of their sins.
Right.
And the interesting thing is that in Catholicism, that might be the way that they've kind of generalized it, but I feel like I personally had a little bit of a different view on purgatory. And it was more so when your soul's just kind of trapped.
Yeah.
And you also hear that like children go to purgatory when they haven't really had the capacity to either be holy or be unholy. That's kind of like where they exist. Mm-hmm. But then also within Christianity, there is when you die, like nobody actually goes to heaven. You go to Abraham's bosom, and Abraham's bosom until the second coming of Christ, and then everybody ascends, is kind of in and of itself its own purgatory. So I feel like there's a little bit of nuance as to how you could actually describe that. And I like the take that this movie has, where purgatory in and of itself in this movie is kind of its own hell, but it's just not as bad as it could be, I guess.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you. And the punishment a lot of time fits the crime.
Yeah.
And it also seems, I mean, there were only just a couple of plot holes in this movie where you're like, okay, well, why did that person get to leave when like everybody else died or had some punishment that they suffered from? Like, I kind of thought that like anybody that got somehow trapped in this purgatory was there for a reason and like they deserve to be punished in some manner.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a good movie.
It is a really good movie. And there was one other thing purgatory related. If you want a little bit more of a rundown on another take on purgatory, if you go back and watch our As Above, So Below episode, purgatory is also a part of Dante's Inferno, and we go into that a lot more in detail on that episode.
I like that. I like a plug. I like a shameless plug.
Yeah. The only other little bit that I had for lore is also kind of a trivia point. So in the very first short. They pull up to this gas station. Mitch and Jack pull up to this gas station, and they get out of the truck and walk in. And the person who's standing at the counter, her name is Sutter, and she tells them, like, this is for customers only. Essentially, you have to get gas to buy anything there, it sounds like.
Right.
And the name Sutter is actually a reference of Sutter Kane from John Carpenter's In the Mouth of Madness. So they were trying to like do an homage to John Carpenter while they were creating these shorts, which I thought was really cool.
That is pretty cool. I like that. I had one other thing before we get into our faves and scariest. Actually, let me read through. Oh, no, this is trivia. I just wanted to spell out that the shorts happen in a specific sequence. So it goes The Way Out, Siren, or I'm sorry, it's opposite. It's The Way In, Siren, Jailbreak, The Accident, and then The Way Out.
Yeah.
And I wrote these down while we were just watching it. I didn't know what the names of the shorts were, so I just gave them my own names, and I thought that you would find them funny. So I wrote Mitch and Jack on the Run, with a hotel transition. Number 2 was 3-band member cult. Transition is Hit by Lucas. Number 3 is my personal favorite. It's Improv EMS in all caps. Its transition is a call from the phone booth. And then number 4 is Danny's quest to find his lost sister. The transition is Jim sees Danny's sister at the same motel. And then the final chapter is Mitch and Jack home invasion.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that checks out. I thought I had written down ones for all of them too. I was looking at my phone because I know I typed my original notes in there.
Yeah.
But I don't think I did. No, I know that I was trying to come up with titles in my head, but I know I didn't write them down.
Okay. So I have 3 honorable mentions for favorites for this. So my first one is pretty early on. It's in The Way In, the very first short. Mm-hmm. It's when Jack and Mitch stop at the cafe, and they're both covered in blood. So they're like going in to like go clean themselves off. And I don't know if you noticed this. I didn't see it in the trivia, but the sign on the front door, it's, facing them. It's facing away from us. So it's like upside down and backwards. But it says on the front door of the cafe, always open.
Oh, interesting.
I thought that was kind of cool.
I didn't recognize that.
Yeah. So when they come in, Mitch goes to the bathroom, and then very quickly after Jack goes. And when Jack is in there, he looks in the mirror, and then he goes to pull his shirt off, and it like grabs onto his head and like pulls him backwards into the stall. I really appreciated that moment. I thought that was super cool.
That was really cool. And that's one of those moments that I'm like, maybe the budget for this was higher than I think it was, because some of the effects in The Way In are like really impressive.
They're pretty good. Yeah, right? Oh my God. The surgery in The Accident really fucking gets me.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder how much that cost. Yeah.
Yeah.
up to your watch level.
Yeah. Fucking shoulder deep in somebody's guts.
Chest cavity. Yeah, right? My second honorable mention was the grace scene in Siren.
Yeah.
Right, when they're all like saying grace. The reason why I really like that scene is because, like they're about to eat this like fucking weird ass, gross ass meatloaf. Yeah, mystery meatloaf, right? And then right beforehand, the grown-ups are like, oh, we're gonna say grace, right? And they hold their hands out. And anybody who's ever been to like an awkward religious household that's had to do grace, right? And so what I really like about that scene is it emulates this same feeling so well, in my opinion, because of the prayer that's given.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? It just like immediately makes you go, what the fuck?
Yeah. My growing up, whenever we would do holidays, we especially did like Easter at my Aunt Carol's house. She was more of a say grace kind of person. Like some of her family was more of say grace kind of people. And it always just felt so awkward to sit there and be like, okay, well, how long do I stare at my toes?
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Yeah. Am I supposed to have my eyes closed? If I close my eyes, I might fall asleep.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I get it. And that's why I really liked it, is because I feel like you couldn't get that same feeling if they would have just been saying like a regular grace, because I've seen that in horror
Yeah.
movies too, right, where like they just say a regular Christian grace, but there's obviously tension at the table. And so I just love that like they used this obviously more satanic type prayer just to make you go like, maybe I picked the wrong house to spend the night at.
Which they should have known. Like the moment
writing was on the wall for that one.
Literally, while we were watching this movie, my first time seeing it, as soon as that car pulls up, I was like, no, no.
No, I'll walk. You know what? My ancestors walked, several thousand miles, across desert and all sorts of. I'll take my chances.
Yeah. Yep.
Take what food I got with me.
Yeah, actually, I'd rather just bake in the sun.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
right?
just roast me on the highway. I'm good to go.
Yeah, no thanks. And then my final honorable mention was the fucking, what was it called? Sorry. Jailbreak. In Jailbreak, the hand tattoo blink. Do you remember that scene?
I barely. I think Jailbreak is the one that I actually remember the least.
It's a one that kind of flies over your head a little bit. Like not that it's like super heady or anything, but I think it flies under the radar is what I meant to say. Like whenever I think of this movie, Jailbreak is like the last one that I think about. I did really enjoy it this time around. I got a couple of extra like pieces of information that I didn't get the first couple of times I watched it. But I did like how unsettling that moment was of Danny just not really realizing how far up shit creek he's got himself, and all of these monsters that are in this dimension just essentially playing with their food. Just essentially just being like, you have no idea what you just stepped into. Like you came in here with a shotgun and you think you're hot shit, and I get that, but like we could literally just tear everything off if we wanted to.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I remember the very beginning of Jailbreak, but I don't really remember too much more of it.
Okay. Well, no worries. It's not my favorite one by a long way. But I do really like that opening scene. Now that I've learned more about that, like that door being the portal.
Yeah.
Anyways, so those are all of my honorable mentions for favorite. My absolute favorite scene in this movie, because
I think we might have the same one.
We probably do. It's at the end of episode 2 when Sadie is running from all of the cult members, and she runs out into the road and she sees a pair of headlights, and so she just starts waving her arms thinking that this car is going to stop and slow down, and he's not paying attention because he's looking on his phone at different outfits that his wife's chosen while she's on speakerphone, and he just fucking blitzes her with the car. And like I don't love that moment because I love people getting hit by cars, but I love that is the seamless transition from episode 2 to episode 3.
It was beautiful. It was so well done. Yeah. That, like, if I could pick out of any anthology series I've ever watched, if I can pick a perfect transition, it's that one.
It exists right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just really like it. I'm just like, are you kidding me right now? That's so clever. That, and I will give props to a later scene too. Like that is like my second favorite transition.
Okay.
But those are all my faves.
For my faves, my first honorable mention is when it's shortly after Mitch and Jack are trying to leave the cafe. They've gotten gas. They get back in the truck and they're trying to leave, and they drive off. And then you see the gas station and cafe start like coming back up again in the distance, and they're like, "What the fuck?" And Sutter's standing next to the gas pump, and then
like
and she's like, "Long night." And then they pull away again, and this time it's from Sutter's perspective, and you watch them pull away, and then you watch them just start coming back up again, and he's like, "What the fuck?" And just like keeps doing it over and over again, and I'm like, that was so funny.
It's fucking phenomenal. I'm so glad you brought that scene back up, because I love that scene. Just, what the fuck? Yeah, I love it. That's actually a really good point. I think I glossed over that first point, that like they start with them driving and they're like, like, wait a second, is that the same hotel? And they just they see Sutter, right? And then the next time it's from Sutter's perspective of them driving off and then coming back up the road.
Yeah. And she's just like taking another drag off her
yeah,
cigarette.
I almost wanted her to just be like,
yeah.
do you want a puff? Like
such a like underutilized character, but also so well done. She didn't need to say much.
She was in the top billed cast, and she was probably in that movie like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
not like, even.
If that, she had like 3 lines, and they were just repeated.
Yeah. Good point.
My second honorable mention was actually that dinner table scene as well. For a similar reason, like the unsettling feeling that is happening at that table with the grace, with everything. But mine is more so when they go into the dining room and sit down for dinner. When you see the boys and you see the rest of that family, it's like already no, this is not right.
Yeah,
something
this
here
is
is
Texas
wrong. Yeah.
Chainsaw Massacre dinner that I'm sitting down to. Yeah.
The two men have like the most just blank 1,000-yard stares on them. They are not human. Like they are shells of humans at that point. And you can just tell like this isn't gonna go the way that they want it to.
When you saw the meatloaf like drop on the plate, did you think to yourself, you're like, that's people?
Yep. That was the first thing I thought.
I was like
that's people. That's human.
I'd be vegetarian too.
Yeah, for a second, what I thought was like, well, that's Alex, like the one that they keep saying sorry about Alex, and she's like carrying the guilt of that. But then I know that happened way earlier than.
Yeah. Probably not that, but still.
Yeah. And then my favorite was the transition from siren to the accident, because it's so beautiful. And it's also
chef's kiss.
If you're somebody that has an absolutely horrible sense of humor like I do, that was hilarious. It was so funny.
It's funnier because you know it's acting.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
If it were real, it would not be funny, even in the smallest sense, unless the person who got hit was like
Donald Trump.
They're insert name here.
Yeah.
Insert name here, but scares.
Yeah. There. Most of mine are tied to those same, not the scenes, but the same shorts. But why don't you go first?
Okay. So I think this one I also have 1, 2, 3. No. I have 2 honorable mentions and then a scary. Sometimes I like my sentences keep going, and so I want to make sure that I'm not saying the same things twice. So I had my first honorable mention was Sadie's death was pretty brutal.
Yeah.
That poor girl, because she lived throughout that whole scene, like that whole short, from where she got hit by the car to getting to the ambulance to being carried into the hospital with her leg breaking backward the other direction to the fucked up surgery that she was given all the way through. So like I was like, have to give her at least an honorable mention for her death, because like that's fucked. Yeah. I would have hoped that she would have just passed out and gone into shock at some point. But I hope they did that for the plot.
Yeah.
Right? They kept her around for the plot. The honorable mention number 2 that I had kind of forgotten about, but I still decided to put it as an honorable mention for this time around, was in the last short, In the Way Out. The way they killed the mom was pretty fucked up.
Trying to remember.
So when Mitch and Jack went to, it was kind of a weird way that they started the short, because it was with the parents and their teenage daughter, and the teenage daughter's like going off to college, and so they're like having their first holiday together, right?
Yeah.
And then Mitch and Jack show up in the middle of the night because we're assuming that the dad murdered Mitch's daughter, and so they've come to get their iron price, right? And so they're initially maybe interrogating dad, but then they choke mom to death with a washcloth. Like they just shove a washcloth in her mouth and just let her suffocate on it. And I think the dad says like at one point, like, she was innocent. Like, why did you do that? And then they just show him the picture of the daughter of Catherine. So I'm kind of curious. I mean, like, even if she was somehow complicit in the little girl's death, like, that's still a fucked up way to die.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have to give honorable mentions.
I had forgotten about that, and that is one of the most prolonged suffocation scenes I think I've seen in quite a
Which is
while.
sad and,
And
yeah, not fair.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
that was rough, especially in that way, because you know that it's not only like, "Oh shit, I can't breathe," but that's also an incredibly painful way
Oh,
to go through
absolutely.
that.
Oh, holy shit. Yeah. No, 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 no kidding whatsoever. I don't even,
Yeah.
not good at picturing it now, which is good. But I'm trying to remember like if they sat on her or not. Cause I'm thinking if you could just somehow get them off of you for a moment, you could pull it back out, but difficult. Maybe they drugged
Yeah.
him. I don't know. We're not going down there. My absolute, scariest scene. It's honestly one of my favorites too, but I felt like it was good to put here because it literally it sent shivers down my spine the first time I listened to it. But it also
Mhm.
was one of those things that I was like, that's the coolest shit ever. It's almost at a tie with Sadie getting hit by the car, because it's the very very end, almost the very end of the accident when Lucas has gone through all. Lucas is the guy who hit Sadie, and he thinks he's on the phone with 911 and paramedics who are giving him advice over the phone on how to save Sadie's life. And then at the very last minute, he kills her based off of the advice that he's given. And when he's like, oh my God, what happened? All he hears is just three people laughing like they
Yeah.
heard the funniest joke ever known to man. And
Yeah.
like that, just that moment right there, like, oh my God. Like I literally like had it just shivered on my spine. And then I was like, that's fucking awesome. And
Yeah.
the ending to that episode, like I kind of wish almost ended there. Like this is the only one of the only plot holes that I have in this movie is the fact that after that point, right, they're laughing and all that, and Lucas is like, "Why?" Right? Like, why are you doing this? And I think they give him some out. They're like, you know what? You did your best. Like, we were just fucking with you. Like, we don't really give a shit about that girl. But here, and I don't know if he did anything. I'm really trying to like rattle my brain. Did he cheat on his wife or something like that? They had some sort of power over him, but they were just basically like, hey, good job, bro. You did what we asked you to. So guess what? There's a new car around the corner. Here's the keys. Why don't you go clean yourself off and just go enjoy the rest of your night? And then they
Yeah.
seemingly just let him fucking leave. Or they go with your theory. I think this is your theory that he's just leaving to go get back in the car and go hit Sadie again and just start the whole purgatory loop, which I'm
Yeah.
also willing to like play with because I think that would be kind of cool too.
Yeah, I am curious what it is. So, say that this is trying to follow like a traditional purgatory perspective. I am
Yeah.
curious what it is he's atoning for, like,
Yeah.
or what it is that he's having to relive. Because, I'm trying to think of what sin would be tied to that, other than maybe it was just like negligence. Like, it's just that I was paying attention to my phone and killed somebody, or like
Exactly.
that
Just
sort
that
of
was the
thing.
sin. Sure.
Yeah.
Maybe he had even like killed somebody else doing that. Right. But he
Yeah.
hadn't gotten caught. Right. Could have been something as simple as that.
Yeah, that's a good train of thought to go down is like maybe in his regular life that
Yeah.
happened and he just like hit and ran. And
Yeah.
so
And he just
now
never got caught for it. Yeah.
yeah, and now he's like, no, I need to do the right thing. Yeah. Huh.
We'll never know. But that,
We won't. And that's
I
cool.
and that's cool. But that is something that like I really loved that moment. Just when those three like demons were just laughing, I was like, that's cool.
That was really cool. I had forgotten about the phone call, like the very end of the phone call part of that, and that is
Right.
an extremely unsettling scene.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the end of that scene, like after, because it bleeds into jailbreak. After that scene, like Lucas gets in the new car and he turns it on. He's got new clothes on. So he's not covered in blood anymore. And he just leaves. He just drives off. I don't even know
Yeah.
if we see him call his wife or anything like that. And then the next thing you hear is just the woman on the other line of the phone, and she hangs up in the phone booth and then goes into the bar, and that's where we like start jailbreak.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just curious because
That
then she
was
was playing like all three of those paramedics and surgeon on that phone call.
that was actually also a really good transition where she
Yeah.
just like hangs up the phone and then it's okay, next one. And
Next one. Yeah. And you
yeah.
know what, now that I think about it, maybe those bar goers do that on purpose. That could also be like a fun train of thought to go down. Like it might not have just been her on the phone. Maybe it was other bar goers. They were just like, all right, it's my turn. Give me the phone.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will fuck with them for a second. Give me the phone.
What if he is
I'm a surgeon. Yeah. Drinking your tequila.
The bar
grab the
goers are
scalpel.
they're just sitting there yes-anding each other over and over again.
Yes, and more morphine. Yes.
Oh, that's good.
That's all my scariest.
For scariest, I had 2 honorable mentions, and my scariest, which the way that I write them down in my notebook is I abbreviate honorable mention as HM. And so
I do the same thing.
It's like HM, and then my scariest is AHH, just and yeah. So my first HM is I didn't know what exactly the creatures in The Way In were supposed to be. I imagine that there's some sort of a like Reaper scenario / demon thing. So I wrote them down as central nervous system bug demon skeletons. They are very unsettling. The way that their like faces open up and the way that they have like hands, but they turn into like kind of pincers in a way too. And when they absolutely get Jack, it just like, they just gave me the ick. Wings made of just the bones was cool. I like that. But everything else about them was not cool. The second honorable mention that I have was in the accident when he is fucking shoulder deep inside of Sadie. Sadie, right?
Yeah, Sadie.
Yeah, when he's like shoulder deep inside Sadie and he has to squeeze her lung, and at that point she's dead. But that just the sounds, what you see going on, it's a lot of gore.
Seeing the blood like leak into her eye. It's not super gory. Honestly, the goriest part is when he's trying to carry her and talk on the phone at the same time, and her knee gives out and her leg bends the opposite direction.
Yeah.
That got me a little bit.
Yeah. And I like gory movies, and still the thought of just like that palpation scene is just nope.
I'm one of those people that like now that I'm older, I just go, oh, the physical therapy. The surgery and the physical therapy that I need to go into that. Oh my God.
At least since he's not a surgeon, he can't bill her insurance. So like that, she's not gonna, well, she's dead anyway, but she wouldn't have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars for that. Although he hit her, so it'd be on his whatever. So then my scariest one is just an overarching, those creepy ass twin boys. They God,
I know.
1, white men. No. 2, 2 creepy ass.
It was
twin,
like my soul like had to escape my body for a second.
2 creepy ass white male twin boys that have 1,000-yard stare and absolutely no soul in them. Like
they probably had lobotomies.
Hard pass. Or something like that. I'm wondering.
They're eating the meatloaf.
They are eating the meatloaf. And to me, like one of the things that I considered was, what if they are supposed to be the shells that inhabit whatever it is that they are doing these rituals to? Like, what if that's why they bring them into it? But we don't know. And that's a cool not knowing. So
sometimes I'm happy with things being unanswered if you set them up properly.
Yeah, the narrative was enough as it was, where like I didn't feel like I was losing out not knowing.
Yeah. I feel the exact same way.
But that was all that I had for scariest.
For scares?
Yeah.
Okay, sick. Okay. Well, I have the weapons roster pulled up, and then I will also pull up the trivia.
I am curious how you label some of the weapons, because I started one today, but I didn't get very far.
Oh, yeah. No, that's fine. It looks like we have 25 trivia results. Do you want to start at the bottom and I'll start at the top?
Yeah.
All right. Numero uno. The floating creatures can be seen in every segment.
Huh. I'll have to go back and rewatch it now, because I don't remember seeing them in the accident.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Oh,
that's
see,
cool.
Yep. Already a reason to have to return to it. Let's see. Find one that's really good. The room number 6255 in The Way Out is the same as the cabin address in The Way In.
Ooh, that's cool.
I wonder
That's fun.
if you were to do T9, what would 6255 be?
I think it still exists on your key. B M A J M A K. If you're going in sequence of if you press 5 twice and it becomes a K.
I just tried to Google 6255 just to see if there's any like significance to that.
Sure.
And I don't see much. Yeah, I don't really see anything.
Well, the hospital scenes in the accident were filmed in a non-functional wing of a working hospital.
I like that.
I think that's pretty fun too.
Yeah.
Adds to the creepiness, like vibe of it.
It does. And I feel like there's something to be said for using existing sets that are actually what they are supposed to be, because
I agree.
There is that level of just like almost uncanny valley when you create a set where it makes it just a little bit less believable.
Yeah. And it just feels more authentic. Plus,
agreed.
There are probably, some actual like scary things, traumatic things that happened in that wing of the hospital. And so like that holds weight, that has value.
Agreed.
To like that. Yeah.
Portions of the accident surgery scene were shot in David Bruckner's living room. That scene, out of all the scenes, that one.
Yeah, no kidding. The van that breaks down in the siren segment actually broke down on set during filming or during production.
That's funny.
That's pretty funny.
Actress Fabienne Therese can really bend her elbow back as she does as the character Sadie.
Ooh, yikes. A gig poster for the band from the siren segment, The White Tights, is visible at the bar in the jailbreak segment.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
This one's pretty long, but I think it's gonna be a good one.
Okay.
So there are numerous hidden connections between the first segment, The Way Out, and the last segment, The Way In. These include 1, the truck from the first segment is visible in the freezing over parking lot at the beginning of the last segment. 2, the house is the same in both segments and many of the same shots are used, including of the hanging lights outside and when the daughter walks down the same hallway where Mitch gets trapped. 3, in the first segment, the creatures stalk Mitch and Jack in the exact same fashion that Mitch and Jack stalk the family in the last segment, first from afar before then closing in. 4, Jack is grabbed by the creature in the bathroom with a t-shirt, which is what he kills Kate with in the last segment.
Oh.
5, yeah. 5, the shaking in Roy's cafe sounds exactly like the ground that opens up in the last segment. 6, when Jack is killed by the creature, he dies in much the same way as Kate did when he killed her by choking and suffocation. 7, the knocks on the motel door that lure Mitch into the room are the same pattern as the knocks from outside the house in the last segment. 8, in the first segment, the motel room is numbered 6255, which is the same as the house's address in the last segment.
Right.
9, the mask that Mitch wears in The Way In is visible on the table in the last shot of The Way Out. It's what he was looking at when he first heard his daughter giggle. 10, the songs Don't Let the Party End and Goodbye Goodbye are used in both. And then lastly, 11, the DJ's voiceover is in both segments. However, the ending version has slightly different dialogue.
Oh, fuck. That's a lot of really good points.
Yeah.
Some that I did not know beforehand.
I am glad to have the little bit of affirmation because I know when we were watching it, when it was when they were inside the house at the end, I was like, that's the same thing. Like that's the
I remember you saying
room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just appreciate like reusing a set in that manner too. I think that's cool.
Yeah.
For the entire final sequence of Siren, all of the footage is flipped.
Interesting.
So they filmed the van breaking down at the very end.
Huh.
It's kind of interesting. And they filmed the death scene at the very beginning.
Yeah. Yeah. Get hit by a car. Now we're going to rewind.
And I'll read one more. The medicine given to Kim and Ava is yogurt mixed with buttermilk.
Gross, but not as gross as it could be.
Yeah, for sure.
Let me get back to my other page of notes here.
Oh, and I think there's just a few more in here. So I mentioned this earlier. The reason why Al makes a big deal of Sandy not closing the door is given when Al takes Danny to see his sister Jessie. It's a hidden door, same as the one that leads to the hidden room where Jessie is. By not making sure the door is latched, it allowed for Danny to find the bar through the hidden door.
Okay.
And because he says to Jessie when he comes in, Danny, I've been looking for you for 13 years.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah, and so that's why he visibly looked way older than she did.
Yeah.
It also seemed like she had. I'm assuming they were vampires.
That's kind of what I got too.
I think that's the play they were going with, the no aging and the long fingernails and all those different things. But
which I'm admittedly not a vampire person. I think that's one of those creatures that's been way you've killed the dead horse over and over and over again.
Right.
Yeah. And I do like when there's a unique take though. Last year, and I've been over vampires for probably 5 to 10 years.
Sure.
I think last year when I read Salem's Lot, it was just unique enough that I was like, oh, this is keeping me in it.
You're like, okay, I like this version of vampires. I can handle this.
Yeah.
I'm not typically a creature feature person myself. I normally like the psychological thrillers or things like that, or slashers or something of that nature. But I definitely agree with you.
And outside of movies, I love cryptids. I am so here for a cryptid moment.
Super into cryptids. Yep.
But I'm just creature feature horror movies. Aside from The Descent, I'm like, no thanks.
Nah, I'm not, yeah. I have 2 other trivia points, and then I think we should do rating. So I have the tattoo on Jack's arm says, "Only God can judge me."
Okay.
Which I liked. I appreciated. And then the last one that I'll end on is the bar in Jailbreak is named The Trap.
Nice.
Which I thought was appropriate.
What did you have for your weapons roster?
Okay, so for my weapons roster, I had a shirt pullover.
I wrote Spectral Strangler for that one.
Spectral Strangler. I had I just called him the Reaper. So I had the Reaper that killed Jack. I have a warm beer. When they were drinking it on the side of the road, I was just like, weapon roster. I put scissors. I put an atom, which is a ceremonial dagger. I did the car for Sadie, kind of. I did a scalpel. I did Lucas, because he killed Sadie. I did a shotgun. Did the naked guys who killed Danny. Did a baseball bat. A knife, which killed Dad. A t-shirt, which killed Mom. Jim's foot. A corkscrew. A knife, which killed Jim. And then the Reaper who killed the nameless guys who were with Mike and Mitch and Jack.
Okay. Yeah. I think that's a good.
It's pretty.
Yeah, I think that's a solid.
I thought I got
list.
Everybody.
I think so. Yeah.
I think I got everybody.
What do you want as your weapon?
I was gonna do the Spectral Strangler.
Nice. Then I'll do the car.
It's creative. It's hilarious. It's iconic.
Yeah, that was a really well done scene too.
Yeah. It was just super quick. It kind of immediately just set up this tension of just like, oh shit,
yeah,
whatever this thing is, it's angry and it wants to hurt these two. So for my rating, I gave it a 4 out of 5 for quality. I have very minor tiffs about this movie. I really liked the continuity, and I did think that there were some genuine scary moments in it. I think the only thing that I really dinged it for was the lack of pain. We were watching it, and it was when Sadie had her foot stuck in the bear trap. One, if you got your foot stuck in a bear trap, you'd be screaming more than that. And 2, I'm pretty sure if your foot's stuck in a bear trap, you cannot open it by yourself.
I don't think so.
You would need to fully stand up and put all of your weight on it to even open it.
Yeah, because I think to open it, you have to push down on a lever. And then, and I don't think you'd be able to do that with anything other than putting your weight on it.
Yeah, and so just the way that she was able to, 1, pull it open, but then 2, be able to pull it open by just being ooh, you'd be fucking, unless it wasn't a bear trap, maybe it was a rabbit trap or something like that. But that's the only thing where I was that's not a fucking bear trap. Your foot will be mangled beyond repair.
Yeah, which now that I think about it, having a bear trap out there wouldn't really make a ton of sense, but
Yeah. Well, they probably did it because it was for the cult leaders, right? So, like, it obviously wasn't for bears.
no, it was
It was
for
for
humans.
people. Yeah, it was for
Yeah.
people. So, but point still stands. For scariness, I mean, I'd give it maybe like a 2.5 to like a 3.5. Like,
Mhm.
it's not super scary. I think I had written down it actually has a bit of comedy at times. Like, I think there is an intentional bit of relief in this movie. So I definitely don't find it that scary. But that being said, it has some very genuine creepy moments in it that, as somebody
Yeah.
who watches a lot of horror, I really appreciated.
Agreed. Agreed.
And then finally, for rewatchability, I love the detail in this movie. I think that this is something that is one super approachable. It's not very long. I think it's a great date night movie if you're willing to stomach some of the gore that's in it. Because even though it isn't gory, putting your hands in people's bodies is kind of gross. And
Yeah.
then, but other than that, like, I think the rest of it's pretty okay. It's
Yeah.
just unsettling.
Yeah,
Um,
there is something to be said for, like, feeling up a chest cavity that
yeah.
is just gonna be a little, but, like,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, so I gave rewatchability a 4 out of 5, shirt pullovers, because I had put down, it's hard to find, because it is,
It
it's hard
is.
to find. You would probably need to buy this movie, but I would highly recommend it, especially if you're the kind of person that likes short form horror.
Yeah, very much agreed.
Yeah.
Uh, for my rating with, an inattentive car driver, uh, for quality, I gave it a 4 out of 5. I said I like the Easter eggs in it. I think that the acting was actually very well done,
Mhm.
um, and that it was a really fun concept, and it's a concept that is really easy to make cheesy, and I think that they did a really good job of executing it in a serious way,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that still gave us some tension relief, still gave us some comedic moments, but you could tell that they were really trying to make this a really good anthology, and I really like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, I agree
Um,
with you.
for scariness, I gave it a 2 out of 5. I said there's nothing super frightening. It's more of an existential sort of dread that's going on.
Mhm,
The concept of being stuck in purgatory in and of itself is a little frightening,
mhm.
but definitely lies more in that existential than in the like I'm scared sort of situation.
Right, right.
Um, yeah, and there are a couple of uncomfortable moments, but otherwise it's a fairly straightforward like
Little horror
you kind of
movie.
keep it the same level throughout the whole
Yeah,
movie.
yeah.
Um, there's like a couple of peaks, but not much. For rewatchability, I gave it a 4 out of 5. I said it's God's given length. It moves quickly, which I really appreciate. Um, and the only thing that I can think of that would ding it is I could see maybe if you're not somebody who does kind of zoom in on the details like we do,
Yeah,
I
right.
could see it being like okay, there's a lot of this that didn't seem to make a ton of sense. Um,
If you just watched it the one time, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, like, I think maybe you'd like it, but like you were saying earlier where you didn't really remember anything about Jailbreak, I think that's gonna happen. You're gonna
yeah,
remember it for, like, 2 or 3 scenes, and then the rest of it, you're gonna be like, "Yeah, whatever."
yeah, especially when there's like that short is sandwiched by two much more like punchy shorts too.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I still this was a really fun watch. I had a really good time with it.
Yeah, and I'm
Eh,
glad to give it some screen time too because it is still, like, such a indie film,
yeah.
and I think it deserves to be shown by more to 2 more people because it is a good movie.
Yeah, very much agreed.
And what's nice is that I think, I mean, I don't remember which of the creators of this movie went on to make VHS, but if you watch any VHS now, like any of those films, that you can see the takeaways from
Okay.
Southbound, especially with the Reaper creatures.
And I haven't watched VHS in a really long time. So I'm excited for us to cover those now that I have had this experience.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember which one it is because there's like 8 of them, and I think I've watched every single one that's available on Shudder right now, but there's one of I think it's one of the newer ones. I think it's like 1992 or 1999 where it's like a bunch of, college kids, and they get together for Zach's 30th birthday, and so they decide they're gonna go, skydiving, and while they go skydiving, a UFO comes and, like, attacks their plane. And so they all have to like just jump out of the plane and like, some of them, their parachute doesn't open. And so when they all like land on the ground, there are these aliens that land on the ground too. And they kill them by like grabbing them and like beaming straight into their faces.
Oh,
And so
okay.
it's like the exact same thing that like the Reapers were doing
Okay.
to
Yeah.
Jack.
I'll have to I'm excited for us to cover those, which, we'll only do certain ones or we'll do like
We'll
one every
cycle
once in a
them.
while sort of thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm hoping at some point we can get more engagement, like, to get from our listeners, like, "Hey, we have this whole list. We could do any of the VHS films, but, like, if you want us to do one over the other, tell us so we can start there," you know?
Especially since I don't remember there being much continuity between them. I'm pretty sure each one of them is kind of its like standalone.
Yeah, they're almost completely separate. I feel
Yeah.
like they follow that trope of, like, maybe you'll see an Easter egg every once in a while, like a name of a character might show up on a billboard in another episode, things
Yeah.
like that.
But otherwise, nothing.
But otherwise, I don't think so. I don't
Yeah.
think any of them ever really connect to one another.
No.
Um,
There's not really one like continuing plot line.
yeah, there's always like an overarching plot line, but it's
Yeah.
different movie to movie,
Yeah.
right? Like it's always like, oh, these people are trying to steal a tape, but they don't know which tape it is, and they have a whole mountain of tapes to watch, so they have to watch them. And
Yeah.
or like the next one, it's like, oh, now we have to. I don't even remember. I don't even remember what the overarching plot is for a lot of them, but
Yeah, me either.
anyways, it doesn't matter. Uh, should we get into? I think it's just what doing.
I think it is just what doing. And we just
Damn,
recorded on Monday.
Monday.
So what have you been doing for this week?
It's been, you know what? I mean, I'll be honest with you. For being unemployed, it's been a busy as fuck week for me. So
Yeah.
I've been super busy. So we recorded on Monday. On Tuesday, I had an interview in Tualatin at 1. So I like took Echo on a walk in the morning and then I went to my interview. I actually took Echo with me. Echo was with me all day, which was super fun. Um, so I took her out to the facility. She just hung out in the car, but I got to tour a place called Wild Paw Studio for a dog grooming position, and they've been there for like a year and a half, I think,
Hmm.
maybe a little bit longer, but really liked the owner there, and decided I was like, well, I'll call you in a couple of days, like if I want the position, and then I think I came home and just did like chores and stuff. I'm kind of blanking on what I did for the rest of Tuesday, which is funny because it was like literally the other day, but I digress. Um, and then on Wednesday, I had a pretty packed Wednesday too. I decided to leave Echo home. I knew that we were having, not us, but our roommate was having company over Wednesday evening. So I left Echo at home so that Harrison could give her a walk and could like have some time to interact with our roommate's girlfriend's dog because
Hmm.
Echo doesn't really get along well with other dogs. So it's like try and do some acclimation and stuff. So I went and did that second interview, which was at Bark Avenue out in Tigard.
Hmm.
So it was a daycare, boarding, and grooming facility. And I got to
Okay.
kind of see like the inner workings in there, which was fun. Um, and then after I did that, I actually went to Milwaukee. I wanted to go to Milwaukee because I was going to go meet up with a client and do a nail trim really fast. Because I can just do it in their house, right? And
Yeah.
then I was going to go to the archery range. And it was pretty funny when I went to my client's house because, like, normally when a dog has to come in for a nail trim, they kind of stop at the door and they're like, ooh, not this store. No, no, no. I don't want to go into the nail trimmy store, right?
Yeah.
Love the treats afterwards, but I'm not here for nail trims. And so today, yesterday, when I showed up on her doorstep, The mom and the dad were like, "Oh my God, it's Karina! Like, come inside! Oh my gosh!" And I walked in the door, and their dog Ruby was like, "Oh, are you kidding me?
In my house?
You gave her our address?" She was so not fucking happy. She was like, "I can't believe you do this to me." But she was good. I gave her a nail trim. I gave her some treats after. Her parents are very grateful. And then I decided on my way out, I texted Cassie because I had decided yesterday to accept the position at Wild Paw Studio.
Yeah.
And so I told my coven about it, as one does. And Cassie had asked me, she was like, "Can I take you out for tacos?" And I was like, "Well, you know what? I'm literally 6 minutes from your house. Do you want to go right now?" And she got off of work shortly after. So yeah, I went and I picked up Cassie and we got tacos, and I ended up talking to her about Stranger Things for 2.5 hours, and I didn't go to archery. So
as one does.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I did yesterday. And today, I accepted that position. I did a little bit of contacting my clients to start getting that all figured out. And then just took Echo on a walk. And I've just been waiting to talk to you.
Nice. That sounds like a good week. Busy, but good week.
Busy, but good.
Yeah. As far as what doing for me, on Tuesday, backing up a little bit, late in the year last year, there was a D&D campaign that was started.
I forgot something. I'm sorry.
No,
I don't want to interrupt you. No, I just forgot that we also hung out. I finally got to see you in person. Were you going to bring that up?
When was it?
It was literally was it before Monday? Well, maybe it was last week. I just don't remember if we talked about it on the pod.
I'm so bad with days.
I know. I am too.
Yeah.
Was it Sunday? No.
No. What day was it?
I literally do not feel like it was that long ago.
I don't either.
We could probably look in our text messages.
We probably could.
I'm going to do it right now. Because, seriously, the fuck?
When was it?
We do. I know. We both have concussions. No. Wait. Maybe it was last week.
Let me see. If I search
11/21. What day was this?
I was going to say, if I search...
It was last Friday.
Okay.
It was on Friday. Yeah.
Yeah. I forgot that we got to see each other in person. Not that we didn't forget that it happened, forgot what day it was. So
we just forgot what day it was. Yeah. Because I literally thought it was 2 days ago. But that was really nice. I know that we both really needed that.
Yeah. Yeah, we definitely, now we have to be much more intentional about making sure we see each other
actually
in person.
See each other.
We don't have just a standing appointment with each other, in
the same location, right? We still have the standing appointment, but now it's virtually rather than in person. And so virtually is just, it's different. It's always going to be different.
And I'm glad we already have another one on the calendar. As long as we keep doing that, where it's we hang out and we make sure that at the end of that hangout, we're scheduling another one. We're going to be good to go.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
So late in the year last year, I had started a D&D campaign with Danny and Eli and a couple of Danny's friends. Now I can confidently say that I'm friends with them as well.
Absolutely.
And shortly after the campaign started, we only got 3 sessions in before Danny and Eli both got different jobs. And so their schedules changed, and it was looking like the day that was going to work for everybody for D&D was going to count me out of it. So I was like, all right, well, that kind of sucks. I'm one of the only ones whose schedule didn't change, but now I'm getting booted out of it.
Right.
But I got over the feelings of it, and I was like, that's cool. I'll pop in whenever I can. Just don't make my character one of the main plot points or anything like that.
Right.
But something didn't work out scheduling wise, and so they were supposed to have it last Sunday. Danny couldn't make it, so they rescheduled it for Tuesday like we normally do. So I was able to make it, and it was me and Eli and the other 2 players, Shay and Ange. And since we had last seen each other, Shay and Ange have gotten engaged. So it was really cool to be able to see them and celebrate the fact that now they're about to get married.
That's so cute. Yeah. Well, congratulations to them.
Yeah, it was really cute. And it was the first time that we had all hung out since Christmas, and so the DM Shay, she had this bag, and she was like, reach in and grab something out of it, and what
Yeah.
was in there was a bunch of like 3D printed dragon eggs, and inside the dragon eggs was a set of dice. And so I reached in and got
Oh,
like this really cool like rainbow dragon egg that looks like it's like all scales and everything, and then you twist it open and there was this like purple and blue really pretty shiny pair of or a set of D&D dice, and it was just like
that's so
so cool
cool.
to have that little gift and everything.
Yeah.
And it was
That's
just
such a thoughtful, intentional thing. I love it.
yeah, and it was a really good time. It was nice to be able to kind of get out of my own head a little bit and
Mm,
like step into my character's head and just be able to have fun for a little bit. Uh
absolutely. Absolutely.
yeah. Other than that, since I did have to postpone school, I kind of mentioned this on Monday, but since I had to postpone school, I'm making an active effort to still try to pursue education in a different way, just not in an institutional setting. So I've been working really hard on like trying to focus on photography and ecology. And I created a curriculum where it's blending all of the different things that I wanted to learn into one. And
Hmm.
so instead of having like, oh, I'm going to learn ecology, and then later on, I'm going to learn like wildlife biology, and later on, I'll learn botany, it's doing all of those things simultaneously through the lens of going out and just experiencing nature and learning how to analyze it through all of those different lenses. And it's kind of a more of a naturalist training than like
Yeah.
a
I love it.
specialist in either one of those things. And it's been so much fun already. The one of the books that was recommended, let me look at the name of
Ooh,
it really quick.
it's even recommending you books. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's giving me like, so the books that I needed to get were John Muir Law's book on nature journaling and drawing. And so it's
Okay.
teaching you how to take field notes both in a journaling sense and in an artistic sense,
Oh,
which is really cool. And then it wanted me to get Sand County Almanac, which is it hasn't arrived yet. I had to order it, but that one's supposed to be really cool. It's by John Leopold something.
mhm.
And then the other one is The Forest Unseen, and I did get that one. I've been reading it. This one's by David George Haskell, and it's essentially him going out and doing what I'm doing right now, where it's once a week. He was observing essentially a 3 meter circle in the forest, and he does it once a week, and he just kind of focuses on something and details what it is that's going on in that little area of the forest.
I
And
like it.
I started with reading all of the January things, which is cool because it's January right now. And it's just such a beautiful take. It's through a scientist's lens, but he does it in more of a memoir style. And
Okay.
it's just so beautiful. It's not like a, here is this moss and what this moss does, and here are the ways that it interacts with nature. It's like, here's how this is interacting with the surroundings, but here's kind of how that is a little bit of a metaphor for things that are happening in life, and like
Hmm,
that sort of take on it.
interesting.
It's
Okay.
really beautiful. I highly
Rather than it
recommend
being
it.
very like textbook.
Yeah, rather than it
Yeah,
being
yeah.
super dry like that. Um,
I
and then
gotcha.
on top of that, though, one of the other recommended books is literally an ecology textbook. So I am learning the science behind it, but I'm
Yeah,
also
yeah. Yeah,
learning
yeah.
it through that lens of experience versus just study. Um,
That's super cool. That
yeah,
is so rad.
it's been really fun. And I honestly think that it's something that in like random weeks, especially if you and I are going outside together, I can be like, hey, this is what I'm focusing on this week. I think it'd be really fun for us to do it together. Um,
Oh,
so
twist my arm harder like I do.
yeah. And part of that process is me keeping a field journal. And
Yeah.
it's like,
Keeping it consistent and active and yeah.
yeah, and they want me to do every week for a year, just like that book. So it
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it's really fun. But then I guess the only other big update that I have really is that I am trying to slowly quit vaping. And so
It's hard.
I am hitting it more right now, but it's because I am combining the nicotine level that I normally do with a zero nicotine. So I'm slowly like tapering down the level until I am at least not having nicotine anymore, and then I can get rid of the oral fixation. Um,
Have you
but
tried the fume?
I
The
have
FUM fume?
So the only thing is that it doesn't hit the way that vapes do. So
sure.
I
it's just
think
not the same.
Yeah, it's just not the same. But I'm making good progress already. So
Yeah.
I'm just gonna keep going with it, and then eventually I know that I'm just not even gonna want it anymore.
Yeah.
And that's been really fun. I am outside of learning and everything, I'm reading a book also about bitters and botany through a bartender's lens, which is
Ooh, that's
really
a good
fun.
idea.
And so
That's a great idea.
since I can't drink right now anyway, and Nick and I were going to be doing a dry January as it was,
Yeah.
I thought that what I'd do is I would start some infusions and start making my own bitters so that way when I can drink again, I have some cool stuff ready to experiment with. And
yeah, absolutely. And you can experiment and get into mocktails too. That's what we've been doing to cut back on alcohol.
Yeah. And so it's I still get to participate because I really want to learn how to bartend. So I still get to do that in a way without actually being able to consume right now myself, which is really fun.
While still taking a tolerance break, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And allowing that thing to heal.
The noggin to heal.
Yeah. Because
you should definitely.
I hear you're not supposed to drink for at least a month after you get a concussion.
I know.
So
imagine you get a concussion the same day you play your first rugby game. And then you go to the after party and everybody's drinking alcohol.
Yeah.
And you have a big goose egg on your head that makes you look like a unicorn.
You're LARPing as a unicorn. And you're
Every once in a while somebody comes by and they go, Karina, do you need anything? Like some bubbly water or some Midol?
It's actually what I really need is for all of you to shut up and turn the music off.
Luckily, they didn't keep it too loud.
Yeah.
It was a really fun party. And luckily it was a pretty minor concussion, but it was sit down, sip some water, eat some food, don't drink any alcohol.
Yeah.
Don't smoke any weed.
It wasn't until you decided to ice that concussion cake with another concussion that it started to become a problem. Yeah.
That's what they said anyways. They said that was probably the big kicker. I probably would have been just fine. I mean, you know what? And I'm living proof that you could still be a functioning member of society even if you smack your face twice in a row. So
I've had a couple friends who have been like, oh, the mountain's so good right now. If you want to go try snowboarding, this is the time to do it. And I'm like, I will hit my head if I go snowboarding. I cannot do that for at least a while.
Right now.
Yeah.
Right. You're like, ooh.
Next year.
Maybe next season. Yeah. I know, right?
Yeah.
No, I'm the same boat.
I know I'm going to eat shit. I know I'm going to, and I can't do it right now. So.
Nope. I mean, ever since the 2 concussions and then spraining my ankle really badly, sometimes I'll tell myself, I'm like, slow down.
Yeah.
Where are we running to?
and that's something that I'm trying really hard to keep a certain level of mindfulness with as well, is that one of the things that I've really taken from this concussion is that I kind of exist on toxic productivity, and making myself slow down is really nice. It's showing me that this has a lot of value.
Yeah, it's hard to do, but it's really, really helpful.
Yeah.
Well, what are we chatting about next? I don't even know.
The taking of Deborah Logan.
That's right. That's right. I did remember that.
That's going to be our next one.
I'm so excited. That's a good one. I haven't seen that one in a long time, so I'm actually kind of excited to watch it again. I just remember it's fucked. It's one of the. It's like Autopsy of Jane Doe, where you start watching one movie and you're like, okay, I think I know what I'm getting into, and then it just takes a hard right turn.
Yeah, I haven't watched it in probably a decade. Somewhere around there. I don't remember when it came out, but I know it's been quite a long time. And I'm curious if it hits as hard as I remember it hitting. It'll be fun to watch.
I'm excited.
Well,
then if you want to clip this wherever, because I'm sure you'll cut out some of that. Have a great night, everybody. Boy.
I'm going to say just bye this time because I have to take a break from Love Each Day for at least a week. Bye.
It's always spooky.